Today we actually get to launch my book!
Today is the day, today is the day. What does it say, Nixon? What does it say, Malachi?
Dream
I
on.
dare you.
Oh.
Is it real?
Yay!
Is it real?
Yes, it's real. But. You can go online or at Amazon to buy the book.
And soon to be on Audible.
And follow
Read it, listen to it, download it, share it.
Watch our videos.
Buy your copy on Amazon today!
Hey there, and thank you for joining me on another weekly lesson. Only today is not a traditional weekly lesson. Today is a wake-up call. And this is going to be a little odd for some of you because most of us don't think that we need a wake-up call, right? We don't realize that we'd actually fallen asleep to our life. And so this may be a little abrupt today, but if you stick with me in this video, I am going to tell you why a wake-up call is so necessary. Because most watching this may even think, I don't think I'm asleep to my life, but if we looked around and we took a little bit of inventory, we're settling in a lot of different areas of our life, right? We're settling for okay, fine, and good enough. We've kind of fallen asleep to some of our habits and patterns and routines, right? We didn't realize that we had become so anxious and controlling. We didn't realize how habitual our thought processes were, and that fear and worry and doubt, had become a way of life for us. And so today I'm going to invite you into a massive wake-up call to arise the sleeping dreamer that's within you. And really, if I could just cut to the chase and tell you about why I am so excited to be doing this with you today, is because in my hands, I hold my book, Dream I Dare You. And you guys, it's all of it. It's full pages. It's in Amazon, in my cart, the whole thing. Like, you can buy and click and the whole thing. You can then buy it and underline it and write in it. Today is the day that I have been waiting for really my whole life, but I'm being less dramatic for these last 3 years, when this dream dropped in my lap and I felt led, I felt guided, I felt called to write this book. And this book is actually called Dream I Dare You, and it's a wake-up call to greater alignment in your faith, family, career, and community. And for the first time, it is now live on Amazon for you to buy your very own copy. And for most of you who have been following or watching or dabbling in any of my stuff, you know that I've been talking about this book incessantly for the last year, and now it's finally here, and you could have your own copy. And I'm thrilled, and I'm speechless, and I'm beyond myself. But today, what I wanted to do in celebration of this amazing day and the fact that dreams do come true, as cheesy as that sounds for some, but in celebration, I wanted to really submit to before you something that would arise that sleeping dreamer within you. And so we're going to talk about this wake-up call. We're going to talk about what it means to be a dreamer. And I'm going to talk about why you have to buy this book. Absolutely, unequivocally have to buy this book, okay? Now, the reason that I wrote this book and when I started writing this book was in the middle of what we would call a midlife awakening. And this was a time in my life and in my husband's life that we had rebounded after some epic failures, right? Like, we had originally started our career in real estate. We had done very well early on, only to end up $100,000 in debt, living in my mom's basement, and wondering if we would ever get out of the predicament that we had created for ourselves, right? Only to crawl our way out of it and to find ourselves living the American dream, right? Like we had rebuilt our success, we had bought the cars, the house, had the 2.5 kids. We had created, right, this American dream, only to realize it wasn't our dream. And for me, I was finding myself crawling in bed at night asking, is there something more, right? And maybe you can relate, because I think that is how you know that you were a dreamer in waiting, is when you've started to do all the things, you've even accomplished a lot of the accomplishments, right? And you still wonder, is there something more? Like you're still lacking that fulfillment or meaning and significance. Well, that was very real for me. And so we decided that we would finally chase this dream that we had had for a decade of selling everything and traveling the country in an RV. So we did. At that time, we had 3 kids under the age of 5 years old. So of course that seemed to make the most sense to do this. And I share this entire story in the book, by the way, on page, 11. Anyways, so we sell everything, we're traveling the country in an RV, and about 6 months into this RV travel, I am watching a movie, The Greatest Showman. I promise you that movie changed my life. But as I finish watching the movie, it's about 1:30 in the morning, and I start to kind of doze off, but I go into a dream state, okay? This state is unreal. It absolutely presents itself to you in ways that would blow your mind, right? Because that's what our dreams do. They absolutely blow your mind. They blow all habits. They blow all patterns, all logic, all reasoning, because they are trying to show you a world that's actually possible. Not the world that you see around you, not the world that you see on the news, not even the world on social media, right? Your dreams go to this deeper level, right? It is focused on such a deeper level that you start to tune in on a totally different realm, and that's what I did. And in my dream, all I could see was people that look like the Bergens. And if you're a mom or a dad and you've watched Trolls, I don't know, like 1,000 times, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's a scene of people that are looking around at their lives, and they looked depleted, they looked depressed, they're just shuffling their feet. They almost kind of have this like gray tint to them. There is nothing happy about this scene. And I remember thinking, what is going on? Like, what is happening in the scene? Why are people living their life almost on autopilot? Why do they look bored and depressed? And I couldn't quite figure it out until all of a sudden there is this like shooting stars that just go over the sky, right? And they are every single color, red fire colors. And in the trail of lights, it says dream. And I woke up and I immediately thought, what the heck was that, right? Like, and why the word dream? And that doesn't, I mean, maybe it's just The Greatest Showman hangover and all the things, right? But in that moment, I felt like I had the algorithm for life, because as that word painted across the sky, everybody in my dream started to wake up. Everybody in my dream started to align. Every single person in my dream started to shine. They started to smile. That you could tell that there was a joy that had like turned on from the inside out. And I knew that there was something there. But it felt, I don't know, a little bit too out there, right? So I decided to ignore it, which is what most of us do when something comes to us, right? When that dream lands, the immediate response is, well, that doesn't seem logical, that doesn't seem reasonable, that doesn't seem realistic. And so what do? We put it on the shelf, right? And we go about continuing our daily life as though that's so much more enchanting. So I did, right? But I still continue to ask myself, is there something more? Is there something more? And I could feel this itch about this dream, and I knew that it meant something, and I knew that I had been given the keys to greater revelation, but I just wasn't sure that I wanted to open that door. Fast forward a couple of months, and I'm at lunch, and I excuse myself to go to the bathroom, and I'm walking into the women's bathroom, and out is walking an elderly lady, and she bumps right into me, only she doesn't acknowledge me. And I felt like it was only fair to kind of be like, ooh, hi, like, how are you doing today? You know, because that's what you say when you bump into someone. And she doesn't acknowledge me. She doesn't even turn around. She just says, live in the dream. And I thought, what? Like, here is a lady in her late 70s that if I'm generalizing, should absolutely be living her dream, right? Like, isn't that the whole point? Like, you go to school, you get a job, you get a degree, you grow up, right? You live in the real world, you do all the things, then you retire, and then you start living, and then you live your dream. But here was a lady that was telling me very sarcastically that she was living the dream, and it was obvious that she wasn't. So I had to lean in. And I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, why aren't you living your dream?" She does not turn around. She does not even look at me. All she says is, "Life." And in that moment, my dream again flashed before my eyes, and I thought, if life is stopping her from living her dream, then what is the point of life? Here is what I'm asking you today. If life is stopping you from living your dreams, then what is the point of life? If logic is stopping you from living your dreams, if your past is stopping you from living your dreams, if the current reality is stopping you from living your dreams, if the fear, worry, and doubt is stopping you from living your dreams, then what is the point of life? The point of life, if we cut to the chase and get all the way to the end, if I were to tell you the end of the story, the point of your life is to manifest the very dreams that God has put on the inside of you, because for every problem, every heartache, every reason, everything that we see going on in the world around you, it is waiting. The world is waiting for your dreams. And my question to you is, will you live your life in light of those dreams, or will you just keep putting them on the shelves, waiting for a more opportune time or a more perfect time, or when things make sense? They will never make sense. There is never an opportune time. There is never perfect timing. And in fact, that's why the time to start is now. That doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter that we're at the tail end of COVID or at the start of it, or at 2021, or if we were in 2018, or where you came from, or where you grew up, or what your past says, or what your current circumstances say. None of it matters. What matters is the realness of the dream that God has placed on the inside of you for a very specific reason. And now I'm wondering, will you wake up enough to no longer settle for okay, fine, and good enough, no longer settle for what you've always done, no longer do just what the world around you is doing, but will you take the time and actually start to clarify, verify, and follow your dreams, because the time is now. The time is right now. And if you read in Romans 8, right, 8:18, it says, "I am convinced that any suffering we endure is less than nothing compared to the magnitude of glory that is about to be unveiled within us. The entire universe is standing on tiptoe, yearning to see the unveiling of God's glorious sons and daughters." What does that mean? It means that the world is waiting for you. It means that the world is waiting for your dreams. And as long as you chalk up those dreams as being irresponsible or illogical, or pie in the sky, or something that you'll do in a more perfect timing, or once you retire, right? As long as we do that, then the rest of the world is being ripped off. And it's highly likely that you're gonna wake up most days wondering the same thing that I was, which is there something more? My answer to you is yes, there is, but it's on the inside of you. It's on the inside of you. It's not in the world around you. And what's happened is that for far too many of us are way too focused on the things going on around us that we've lost sight of the things that are going on within us. We've been all too together connected to the world around us, being so disconnected from the world within us that now when the world around us has gotten all discombobulated and flip-flopped, we're spinning as opposed to standing and manifesting a greater tomorrow by dreaming today. This is my wake-up call for every single one of us, is to realize, to actualize, to manifest the thing that's on the inside of you. And so in this book, I actually walk you through 3 different phases of dreaming. Number one is creating greater awareness, because it is way too challenging to look at your life and start changing it and pulling back all the layers and opening up all these cans of worms when you have no idea where to start. And it's likely and understandable and warranted that if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, right, like you've been doing life a certain way for a really long time, and so to figure out where to start can feel way too daunting. So this first phase of this book is designed specifically to create awareness, right? If you can create awareness, if we can shine some light on why you do what you do, and we can better understand what's stopping you and why, and you can have a better understanding of a vision for your life and the things that are most important to you, then we can actually help you shift into phase two, the second part of this book, which is called building belief. The people who are most convicted in this life are the ones who are making the greatest waves, not because they know what they're doing, but because they're completely convicted by why they're doing what they're doing. In this part of the book, we talk about why you need belief, why it is so important to have a vision, to have a conviction. And not only am I just talking about these concepts, I'm going to walk you through having your very own. Once you have a strong belief and you're no longer falling prey to just the busyness of life or doing all the things, right, and checking off the to-do list and going through the grind and all the motions, but actually consciously being aware of your life and consciously choosing what you believe in, then the whole final part of this book, right, is all about taking action. How do you actually do something with your dreams? Because dreams without action is no dream at all, right? It's no dream at all. Dreaming is a verb. There is action. It requires you to do something. It requires you to bring about, right? Because that is my definition of dreaming, which, if I could read you the definition, which is found on page 22, dreaming is great and intense focus with deep absorption of thought in a different realm that brings about possibilities while considering the needs of those around you. That is the definition of dreaming. That means that your dreams are going to get you so focused, not on all the things going on around you, but on the thing going on within you. Such great and intense focus that everything else just starts to fall to the wayside, because far too many of us are way too focused on all the things when your dreams are going to allow you to focus in on the thing, right? With deep absorption of thought. This allows us to go even deeper. Most of us are so worried at such a mind level, right? Like we're so disrupted by all of our negative thoughts and our fear and our worry and our doubt that we can't even hear our heart speak. We can't even hear our dreams sing. They're singing. We're just not paying attention. We're at a totally different frequency. Your dreams are going to take you even deeper, to a deeper level, to where you can hear that still small voice that is trying to be heard. Everything else is just too loud, right? In a totally different realm. Dreaming doesn't happen in the world around us. Like what is out here is already out here. We don't need more copycats. We don't need more comparison. We don't need more of what we already have. We need the innovation. We need the creativity. We need the dreams and the faith that's locked on the inside of you, that's in a totally different realm, that brings about possibilities. It brings it about. It is a verb. There is so much action to this word, it will blow your mind. It brings about possibilities to the world around them while considering the people that are around you, which means that dreaming is the least selfish thing you could do. So many of us think that, oh man, especially as parents, like, you know, I don't have time. I'm just taking care of all the people around me. I don't have time because I've got kids and I'm just going to put my dream on the shelf and we'll come to it, I don't know, later. Believe me when I say this, our world doesn't need any more parents or any more people putting their dreams on the shelf. They need people who are absolutely on fire about the things that are important to them. This is what it means to dream. And I am inviting you to the greatest pattern interrupt, wake up call, adventure you could go on a lifetime, is to absolutely clarify and follow every single dream that God's put on the inside of you. Because here's the reality. What got you to where you are isn't going to take you to where you've never been, right? Your mind is designed to keep you where you are by premise of where you've been, but it can't take you to where you've never been. That is where it matters of the heart. This is why dreaming is not for the faint of heart. It is for those of heart. And this book is designed to walk you through that entire process. And it's like $18.95 on Amazon. You guys, this is like all my life's finding, years and years of all the ins and outs and all the ups and downs of my emotional roller coasters and all of my failures and all of my successes and all the growth coaching and all the one-on-one moments that I have spent with hundreds and hundreds of clients and dreamers and entrepreneurs and friends, all put in 239 pages right here for you, because I knew that the greatest impact I could have is by putting all of my findings in one place. And all I needed to ask you is, are you ready? Are you ready to wake up to your life to where you actually start to manifest the things that are on the inside of you? No more excuses, no more reasons, no more justifications, just a willingness to say yes. Because that's all that boldness is. Right? Like this book ends that it's a bold invitation to awaken and align the dreamer within you so you can start living bold as lions. Right? All boldness is a willingness to say yes. It doesn't mean that you're going to know every single step. And in fact, we won't. We don't get every single step. We get the next step and a simple willingness to continue to say yes. So today I'm going to ask you, will you join me? More than anything that my whole life has ever wanted to do is to create an impact for people to have the opportunity to experience heaven on earth, greater things than these, right? Jesus said, you will do even greater things than I. Why? Because we're connected to him. And when we are connected to him, we start dreaming heaven's dreams for our lives. We start manifesting heaven on this earth, and we actually start to fulfill the greatest commission of all, which is to be the church, to make him known and to light this world on fire. The world needs you. The world needs your fire. It needs your song. It needs your dream. It needs everything that's on the inside of you to come out and to be manifested in the world around you. And the world is waiting. All you have to do now is say yes. So I'm asking you to join me. And here's how I'm asking you to join me. Number one, I'm asking you to buy the book. The link is below. It's $18.95 on Amazon, and I'm asking you to buy this book. I will forewarn you, it's not really like a nighttime read. It's not the easiest read, nor will it be the fastest read. It's designed to transform you. It's designed for you to take it chapter by chapter, step by step, and to incorporate it into your day-to-day life, right? So it is not going to be a quick read, but what I am asking you to do once you buy this is that you start the journey and you don't stop. That you start at page 1 and you keep going until the very final page, and you answer every single question, and you let yourself continue to create awarenesses that you didn't even know you had, and to start the dreaming process and to reflect on the dreaming process and to refine it as you go. The second thing I'm going to ask that you do is that you join our Facebook group. This is a closed Facebook group designed specifically for people to start opening these awarenesses and to start talking about all the things that we're talking about in this book. It is completely free group, and I'm asking you to get involved. Why? Because dreamers should not dream alone. They should absolutely not dream alone. And as you read this book, I'm going to encourage you that you get involved and connected with our community so that you will not be on this journey by yourself. And then the third thing I'm going to ask you to do is, once you buy this book, I'm going to ask that you also get a group of your friends. Maybe it's a small group at church, maybe it's a MOPS group, maybe it's your business friends, maybe it's your own staff. I'm going to ask that you bring together a group of people who will come together and read this book as a unified group. We've got a whole thing about this book clubs and instilling these small groups within churches. And so if you go to the link below, I am going to connect you with our book club process, because I've created additional notes specifically to guide you in deeper, more meaningful conversation with the people that you're doing life with. This is so important to not only go on your own journey, but to make sure that the people around you are going on this journey with you, so that as you grow, they can grow with you. So make sure you click on that link and learn more about our book clubs and all the additional stuff that I provided to make this experience rich and meaningful, and so that you not only obtain your dreams, but that you maintain them. And friends, more than anything, may I remind you that heaven is so thrilled with your dreams, that you have a whole legion of angels that are cheering you on, that your dreams are waiting for you. They are on the inside of you. And if anyone is an example of this, may I be an example that says, if it's in you, it's possible. All you need to do is say yes. So today, join me, start by buying the book, join our closed Facebook group, and then bring this to a home near you. Bring this to a friend group near you, to your family, to your staff, to your business associates, whoever it might be, and let's one person at a time wake the world up. Oh, and of course, don't forget, if you have not subscribed to our text message community, we send you 2 mind-blowing texts a week that encourage you and support you and challenge you in your process of dreaming. Text DREAM NOW, all capital letters, one word, to 22999. And of course, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, and pass this along to one dreamer today who needs this encouraging message.